All right, we got breaking news. We got an emergency video today. We got to push back the schedule of content to another day because I got to talk about this because this is the coolest thing that's happening in gaming right now. Well, at least in my opinion. I'm sure there's some people out there who think the latest season of Fortnite's the coolest thing going on in gaming, but for me in my world, and sure many other worlds too, is the announcement of the Neo Geo Advanced Entertainment System Plus. We gotta go over this today because, like I said, this is the coolest thing going on in gaming right now. Like this, and you got your analog and mod retro companies. I cover them, and I talk about the analog 3D and the mod retro chromatic a lot. But a huge difference here is that those systems are FPGA. This is taking everything a step further, and this console is not an FPGA console. This is pretty much a re-release of the Neo Geo, which is an absolutely legendary console that I'm not nostalgic for and I never played it, but oh my gosh, this is getting me excited, which is actually really funny because next week I have scheduled a video about how I don't get excited for gaming anymore, really more in the modern sense, but this modern retro scene, dude, this is so cool right now. So again, this is the Neo Geo. The Neo Geo is a very like arcade heavy focused type of home console. I'm pretty sure it was expensive when it released out in the 90s, like around like $600. I don't think it sold many units, and they're essentially completely remaking this thing. And so here you got your original edition for $250. You get the console and you get the controller, which is like this arcade stick. And like I said, this is not FPGA. This is original hardware, essentially. What's called the Advanced Entertainment System Plus. The original Neo Geo is called the Neo Geo Advanced Entertainment System. This is Advanced Entertainment System Plus because it does have some modern features like HDMI. So this can plug straight into your HDMI TV, which is awesome for accessibility. And there's also wireless controllers. Right here in this box shows a wired controller, but there are wireless fight sticks and like a wireless gamepad. We'll get into that in a bit. But not only is this brand new, this works with original cartridges and original controllers. Because, like I said, this is essentially just the hardware just remade. It's very authentic. Like I said, it comes with a HDMI cable, but it also has AV outputs, original AV outputs for CRT enthusiasts. So again, like from my perspective, like I want a CRT TV. Let me make that perfectly clear. I just don't know if I have the space for it that I like want to force it in, like I'm still brainstorming how to make it work. I do kind of want a CRT TV, but that is very cool for something like this. And there's many options too. So that this is your original baseline option for $250. They also have this white anniversary edition because this is the 35th anniversary of the Neo Geo Advanced Entertainment System. It comes in white, which actually looks really nice. I'm not the biggest fan of white consoles, to be honest, except I do love the Xbox 360, that original one. Maybe it's the angles or something. And I guess I like the PS5 too, but I don't know. White's not my first option, but for an extra $100, you get the white version of the console with a wireless controller, it looks like, and you get a copy of Metal Slug. And so, what else is cool about this is they are reprinting games. And so, let's go to the Ultimate Edition real quick, okay? Spoiler edition, the Ultimate Edition is what I ended up. I ended up pre-ordering this. This is $1,000, okay? But let me tell you, this is 2009 me watching retro gaming YouTube would have wanted me to own this someday. And so yeah, I went ahead and pre-ordered this for $1,000, which is tough because you can only pre-order this Ultimate Edition from this website and they take the money right away. So I had to think about it for a bit. I had to go on a walk. I had to take a shower. I'm like, am I really going to put $1,000 on this right now? Something that realistically I'm not going to be playing like all the time. But one of my big themes of this year is expanding my access. Whether it be through emulation, I want to make sure I have my bases covered where I'm able to play games. But at the same time, I want to expand my access for like collecting in the future. And something like this, where I can get a console that I can now go into the game store and buy a used game, a used Neo Geo game, or find one online and actually have a way to play it. However my tastes evolve in the future, I know I have access to this library of games. And the fact that they're reprinting these games make it instantly more collectible right away. And so I'm gonna explain why I ultimately ended up going with this package. I wasn't going to at first, but if it by the time I upload this video, there's still pre-orders. It might be something you want to consider, and I'll explain why. Because this is actually a really great deal. And so, like I said, this is has reprints of the game. So let me start in going with Amazon, because you can pre-order from Amazon. That was what I was originally going to do. But I didn't because it's currently unavailable. At the time of filming this video, I'm going to upload this on a Friday, so I'm filming it Thursday night because, I just pre-ordered it. This has never gone available to pre-order on Amazon, the console. The games are, or some of the games are, and accessories, but the console at this time has not. And I like to pre-order on Amazon. They don't take the money until they ship, right? So I was going to do that and just sit on it and think about more, because I'm not necessarily nostalgic for the Neo Geo. And it's the second time I said that this video, but I want to support this practice. This is the future of gaming I want to see, is what Neo Geo is doing. I'll explain that in a bit. So again, I'm not super nostalgic for Neo Geo. I'm like, man, is this really worth like the money? Like the analog 3D or the mod retro chromatic N64 Game Boy. I'm very nostalgic for that. Neo Geo, I can't say I am. So it never went in stock. So I started looking at the accessories. I was putting these on my cart. I was like, okay, it doesn't come with the wireless gamepad controller. This thing looks pretty nice in terms of like, maybe I don't want to use the fight stick all the time. Gotta get me one of those. $60. A memory card. Gotta get a memory card. $35. And gotta get at least one game. These games are $90. And that might sound like a lot of money, but you know me, I support $90 games. Something about the Neo Geo is a very expensive system, right? So if we go over to eBay and we just search Neo Geo AES games, like the original games, like I said, these work on the new console if you get one. Look at these prices, man. $280, $630, $200, $450, $600, $500. Like, these are expensive games. I don't even know how many of these are actually authentic or like in bad condition, or just like Japanese versions. I'm not sure, but these are all expensive. So when you look at these prices and compare these to $90 sure is heck not that bad. But so I was then thinking about this. And I was going, let's whip out the calculator, right? So $250 for the console, plus $60 for that extra controller, plus $35 for the memory card, plus $90 for a game. We're $435. And I was thinking about like, okay, I'll get one game to start with, Metal Slug, and it's launching with 10 games, and I can add some over the time, much how like I'm collecting from the mod retro chromatic, right? That's another very small library of games. I would love to collect them all. And so I'm still waiting. I just have the stuff in the cart. I'm waiting for the Amazon pre-order to go on. And so, I'm doing more research, trying not to be too hasty. And I look at the Ultimate Edition, and this is $1,000. And it comes with the console. It comes with two controllers, two arcade stick controllers, which is a wired and a wireless one. And so that got me thinking right there. I was just like, eventually my son's going to be old enough to play games. And like a lot of the games on this are arcade games. There are a lot of fighting games on the Neo Geo. And I'm probably not going to sit around and play fighting games by myself, right? For a bit, it could be fun. I'm definitely interested in Metal Slug, but I'm going to have someone, in my house who's like, probably going to play fighting games with like every day or all the time, or at least go through a phase of that. Me and my friends growing up, we used to play like Dragon Ball Z fighting games all the time. And that was so much fun. And, eventually I'm going to have someone who, maybe can relate to this, and, maybe, we'll be able to play that. So I got to keep that into consideration when I'm, buying video game stuff moving forward. Like, I can't just get one controller. Before it was like maybe get a second one if I play co-op game with my wife or something. But now there's like I really need to hone in on like a second controller. So this comes with the second controller. Awesome. It comes with the wireless gamepad that I was going to get, with a memory card that I was going to get. And it comes with all 10 games in this just beautiful packaging where it has like this like rack with this awesome display. And I'm looking at this, like, this is what sold me on it, is just this piece right here. And then especially when you look at when you look at the $90 games, 10 games, $900 for just the games. And then you get the console, and then you get two the two arcade stick controllers and the memory card and the wireless gamepad. This thing is just like actually a steal in terms of like this, niche collector's market. And on top of that, if you look in the fine print of the Ultimate Edition, the Neo Geo AES Plus units included in this product will be the first off the production line, numbered at the factory, and produced in extremely low quality. So these are going to be serialized. So worst case scenario, if I regret this as like, man, why did I get this? I don't actually like the Neo Geo, and if I like don't find the appreciation into it and fall in love with it, but I impulse buy stuff a lot. Like when it comes to games, I'm actually not impulse buy, blind buy stuff, like blind buy movies all the time. I kind of understand my tastes, and I feel like this is gonna be something I like and I appreciate, and that I can have for a long time. Just like have it locked in, sealed the deal. But in the event I don't like it and I want to get rid of it, these are serialized, so I feel like that there's gonna be some collectability to it. Whether it goes up in price or down in price. Like I'm sure this package you'll be able to like resell this like at worst for $500, right? So $1,000. If I don't get $1,000 worth of entertainment value, maybe I can at least get $500 worth of entertainment value and sell it off. Like if I don't like it, but I have really no doubts that I am going to really enjoy this. In terms of the games, let's see here. There's 10 games included: Metal Slug, King of Fighters 2002, Garo, Mark of the Wolves, Big Tournament Golf, Shock Troopers, Samurai Showdown V Special, Pulstar, Twinkle Star Sprites, Magician Lord Over the Top. And I think I'm going to have so much more fun with this console, having a library of games to just like, to look at and browse through, instead of just getting one game like Metal Slug and being like, all right, like that was cool. I spent $435 and I played it for a few hours, and that's cool, but let's go back and play Switch 2, right? Like I want to sit there, like kind of like what I've been doing with my DS games. I want this library on my shelf, and I want to look at it and look at the boxes and see what looks good, and play it, and just always have that. And moving forward, just have the accessibility to, if I want to, maybe like learn more about the Neo Geo or just some other franchise, and maybe I get really into it and I have all the consoles and all the systems I want, and I'm at a point in my game collecting and just the building of my library where I can just focus on games. This is just a platform that I can be like, all right, well, this month I really want Fatal Fury on Neo Geo. They never reprinted it. There's no $90 copy. Let's pick it up for $350 because like I super appreciate it and like I really want it. And that's the axis I'm building towards right now, and kind of the theme of my year. So this $1,000 package, it's really funny. I've been like ripping on $1,000 PlayStation 6. It's not worth it. It's not like, who needs $1,000 PlayStation 6? But this is a niche product, and it's like I see this for $1,000. I'm like, hell yeah. This is the future of gaming that I want. Like I said, I'm not super nostalgic for Neo Geo, but like I wish that Sega would do something like this with like the Genesis or the Master System, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. Like I wish Nintendo would do this with the NES, Super Nintendo, N64. I would say PlayStation 1, but come on, Sony, what are you doing? Just make the PlayStation 6 backwards compatible with a PS1 and PS2. Like you had that with the PS3. I can kind of understand not having PS3 native backwards compatibility, but at least let us put in PS1 and PS2 discs. Like I feel like there's a lot of people like me who want modern retro consoles and reprints. Like I would much rather have reprints over remakes and remasters. Like reprints is something that just this industry has never really had. We're kind of getting that a little bit with mod retro, and seeing that Neo Geo is doing it with the reprints, and it's not even FPGA. Like this is a level above FPGA. Again, this is just the coolest thing. They say vote with your wallet. I'm going to support this because like this is what I want from like Sega, from Nintendo. And so, yeah, I'm going to support this. Like I want to get this. It's a beautiful package, and I think it's going to be a good store of value, to be quite honest, if I do end up regretting it in the future. I do think this is something that could be sold off. I'm not in this for like selling or scalping or anything. Like, please don't do that. Like, buy this to play the games, but I'm just saying, as I justify this probably bad financial decision, um, yeah, I don't think this money is going to be completely vanished and down the drain. I do think this is going to be somewhat of a store of value by itself. But yeah, $1,000 seems crazy. That's why I had to walk on it for a little bit. And but you know the games are $90, so if I end up just doing my original order and getting the original version, buying one game, and then like even at like one game a month, drip feeding it till I collect them all, it's going to be way cheaper to just buy the $1,000 Ultimate Edition. And so that's what I ultimately did. And so like, yeah, again, this purchase is, a fun library of games. It looks like, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I'm sure I'm gonna appreciate it. Just awesome video game history. Like I said, the 2009 version of me would want me to have this. It opens up the door for accessibility for physical game collecting in the future as I enter, video game stores or shop online. It just gives me more options and just opens my door of opportunity as I continue to collect into the future and continue building just my library of games, which is already big enough that I don't need to buy a single game for the rest of my life, and I could game for the rest of my life. So I'm in bonus territory. So yeah, let's add the Neo Geo to that collection. And I just want to support this practice. This is what I want to see for the future of gaming. It gets me excited. Like I said, a video coming out next week of how I am not I don't get excited for games anymore. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. But that was pre-recorded before this news came out. But again, that video is more towards modern gaming, where this is like modern retro gaming, and just so cool, man. It comes out November 12th. Very excited. Like I said, the only thing I would have pre-ordered this immediately if they didn't take the money right away. That was pretty tough because I am pretty overspent this month, but this wouldn't be the first time I did something like this. Not game related, but real life stuff where like, yeah, I got to do a big purchase right now. So it will be okay. And there's like 100% money back guarantee, it looks like. So yeah, 60-day easy return. I think you could cancel like on this website if you want to, and they will refund you. But man, I don't want to do that. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Like, have you seen the news about this? Have you pre-ordered any of these versions? What's your plan? Are you excited about this? Is this the future of gaming you want? And is this more exciting than a $1,000 PlayStation 6? Because I feel like it is. Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.